So I would like to introduce Emma and Hayley, who are going to give a talk to us today about packaging and selling website maintenance plans, or just in general, which I think is a great topic. And I'm sure many of you have struggled to communicate with clients about why they need maintenance, which in the WordPress world is everything after development. So I think it's a great talk to be talking about. They are from WP Mavens, or have built it up, which is a really good, well, I'm assuming really good, I'm not their target audience, but they're the founders of WP Mavens, which is an online membership community for women in WordPress development, hence not being the target demographic. But was finding out a bit more about it before. They've got templates available, they've got support programs, a way to be able to be held accountable for your own development in the industry, which sounds really good as well. So I'm looking forward to this talk. So please give it up for Emma and Hayley.
Thanks, Mike. Can everyone hear me? Sweet. All right. Thank you so much for coming. It has been about 5 years since we've spoken. So if we're a little bit rusty, I apologise. As Mike said, we're talking about packaging and selling website maintenance, so we'll just jump straight in. Today, during this presentation, you're going to learn about how to package and sell website maintenance, as well as how adding it to your services is a win-win for both you and your clients. Now, we love giving away stuff for free, so if you do stick with us until the end, we're going to give you a complete checklist of how to do the maintenance, a sales page template, the form files to actually get your clients to sign up to maintenance, and some more. Now, who the heck am I? My name's Hayley. I'm a web designer by trade. My clients consider me their problem solver, so I like to take on projects that a lot of people say no to. They're a little bit more tricky, a little harder. I very much advocate for lifestyle over hustle. So I very much believe there's no point in earning the big bucks if you don't have time to enjoy it. I'm a WordPress wizard for designers, so I help designers build their business in WordPress. I'm the co-founder of WP Mavens as well as the Women of Web Summit. I'm a busy mum of one. He's just started school, so lots of racing around after all those extracurricular activities. And just a fun little fact, if I ever go out to dinner, I want Thai food and I will always order chicken Penang.
And hi everyone, I'm Emma Kate. I'm a graphic designer turned web designer. I'm a wine and cheese lover. I'm a Summit co-founder. Along with Hayley, we have the Women of Web Summit together, and I also co-founded the Designer Boss Summit and have the Designer Boss podcast. I spend my days working as a WordPress mentor for designers, and I have e-courses teaching them how to build wonderful WordPress websites and a thriving web design business. And of course, along with Hayley, we have our WP Mavens membership together. But last but not least, and most importantly to me, I am a wife and a fur mama of 2 adorable little sausage dogs. But that's our highlights reel. I want to assure you that Hayley and I are definitely not a couple of web designer Beyonce unicorns. We have made a lot of mistakes in our time, haven't we, Hayley?
100%. We've been the anxiety-ridden, stressed-out designers. We've spent years in the feast and famine income cycle, and I guarantee most of us here can relate. We've chased those one-time clients who ghosted us like a random Tinder date. Worried about where our next project was coming from. And business just felt hard. We were working so hard and at times could barely pay the bills. But then we became confident and thriving web designers. We built a steady stream of income, eliminating the stress of chasing those new clients and projects each month. We rested easy knowing that the bills were covered. We built long-term relationships with our clients that building loyalty and trust. And in return, they gave us new projects and sent us all the referrals that we could need. Now, I want to ask you a question. Who would you prefer to be? So the old Emma and Hayley, stressed out and anxiety-ridden, or confident and thriving?
It's not a hard question, right? So that's why we're here today, because offering website maintenance plans is something that you can do right away if you're not doing it already, and it can help you work towards becoming the confident and thriving web designer unicorn or web development unicorn that you want to be. So let's dive in. First up, why offer website maintenance? So we'll start with a little story. Imagine this, you have a past client that you built a website for years ago, let's just call her Claire, and the website suddenly stops working. She has no idea why. She's losing big money because her website is her biggest marketing tool and source of income. You built Claire's website years ago and you don't keep in touch regularly, so you're not top of mind. She kind of forgets about you. So instead of reaching out to you, she reaches out to another web designer that she's met recently, and it's essentially game over for you. She now works with that web designer or developer for all her future website needs, and she's forgotten about you. Well, no more. The next time a Claire comes into your life, you're going to handle it differently because you're going to offer a website maintenance plan. And the best news is that it's a win-win because Claire or your client gets the time to focus and grow on their business rather than worrying about maintaining their website, because let's face it, most of them don't do it. They get the peace of mind that their website plan is kept in tip-top shape and it's speedy, the SEO is like getting sort of updated and it's better for SEO, security, no bugs and glitches, things like that. They also get priority access to you for all of their website needs. And in return, you get stable recurring revenue, which we believe is a business owner's golden ticket. You get long-term relationships with your clients. Oh, I went too quick there. And you get to reap the benefits of referral after referral from loyal clients, because rather than them forgetting about you, you get to stay top of mind because you're in touch regularly, and you get not only more work from each client, but also referrals from them as well.
Now that all sounds great, but we actually have to create those packages. So let's start at the beginning. I categorize my maintenance inclusions into two options. I have my non-negotiables and then optional add-ons. Everyone will do these differently. Some of my optionals will be your non-negotiables and vice versa. Let's start with the non-negotiables, and a lot of these will be very familiar. We've got theme and plugin updates, daily backups, security scanning, uptime monitoring. Sorry, the animation's a little slow. Performance scanning, performance optimization. So let's have a look at the optional add-ons. And this list is non-exclusive. I personally do not include any of these in my maintenance plans, and I charge all of these separately. So we have website edits and content updates. We have website hosting, malware removal, or literally any other recurring service that you can think of. So let's take a sneak peek at my actual packages. So I'm going to share full transparency, what I include and how much I charge. So we start with the essentials package. All of the things that I listed in my non-negotiables, $110 a month. I'm not saying you have to charge this amount. You can charge half, you can charge 3, 4, 5 times the amount. Then we've got my second package, which is the effortless. It starts from $220. So my essentials package is for small businesses, brochure-style websites. The effortless is for e-commerce and membership. Now, if you have a look, they nearly have everything in common. The difference here is the amount of time spent on it, the amount of time spent testing, the possibility that things can go wrong. So a more complicated website, you're more likely to break something and have to fix that. So that's where the price difference comes in for me, but essentially the plan is the same.
And that brings us to step 2, which is the sales. And this is something for me personally, and I'm sure there's a lot of people in the room, that selling it doesn't come naturally. Show of hands, how many people kind of hate the whole idea of selling? Yeah, about 50-50. So I've put here, it's the sales without feeling gross, because it can feel a bit sleazy and hard sometimes. So what we're going to do, instead of focusing on the selling, we're going to flip the script and forget about selling for now and focus more on serving. So focus on why it benefits your clients. Here we go. So ask yourself some questions like, how important is their website for their business? What would it cost them if it was underperforming or, heaven forbid, it crashed and went offline? How many sales could they lose due to slow load times? What does it cost them each time they What does it cost them each time they break something trying to maintain the website themselves? So we need to flip our frame of mind from selling website maintenance to helping our clients stay successful online. It now becomes way easier to sell website maintenance to our clients because our focus is on serving and educating, not selling. And this leads us to educating our clients. So it's easy to just assume that clients probably know what website maintenance is and why it's important. But in reality, they usually have zero clue, right? So it's our job as web designers and developers and as WordPress experts to educate our clients on the benefits of website maintenance, what can go wrong, the responsibilities of being a website owner. So it's not just about protecting their asset, their website, their business. It's about protecting the website visitors that go to the site. If things aren't updated, then sensitive information that they put into forms or malware could get downloaded onto the website visitors' devices. So we have to educate our clients on the responsibilities that it's not just about their asset, it's about everyone that comes on their website as well. And we also need to tell them what we actually do as part of the service. So we have some swipe copy for you, and we'll give this to you at the end, so you don't need to madly take a photo or scribble it down or anything. I will read it out, but this is swipe copy that we actually use in some of our email templates. We'll give you these email templates at the end, one for when clients are due to renew their care plan, and also one for upselling past clients. So whether you're new to offering website maintenance and you have a whole bunch of clients that you want to try to get on board, then you can use that template. Or if maybe you've had clients decline in the past and you want to see if you can sell them on it again, we have that template. So I'll just read what we say here and how we sort of explain the benefits of website maintenance. Regular website maintenance is crucial for the smooth functioning and security of your WordPress website. Don't worry, I won't scare you with horror stories, but I'd like to help explain why it's a must-have for serious business owners and show you the different options to choose from. First and foremost, keeping your website software, including plugins and themes, up to date plays a vital role in enhancing your site's speed and performance. It ensures that everything runs smoothly, your website visitors have a seamless experience, and pages load fast and without glitches. But more importantly, regular updates are crucial for maintaining the security of your website. By staying on top of these updates, you reduce the risk of vulnerabilities that could be exploited by hackers, and we certainly don't want any uninvited guests messing around with your beautiful website. So when should you talk about it? Well, the last thing that your client wants is a website handover, and I am guilty of doing this many years ago, where it's oh yeah, by the way, you need to update your website and here's how much it's going to cost on a regular basis. They don't want to hear that. So you need to be talking about it from the very first conversations. You don't want to spring this on them at the end. So mention it in any and all of your discovery calls. Include a page or a section about it in your website proposal. And include a certain number of months in your website packages to show value. So this is what we do. We think 3 months is the magic number. We now include 3 months in our website packages. I have included up to 12 months in the past and find that clients then kind of take it for granted come the 12-month period, that it is just sort of something that you do for free or out of the kindness of your heart. So the 3-month mark is a good way to show them value, send them a report every month, see what they're getting, and then you can, sign them up to an ongoing plan after that. So website maintenance are not just you sell it once and then you're done. It is an ongoing service. So the selling, or AKA serving, needs to be ongoing too, because they can always cancel, right? So how do we do this? Well, communication is key. You need to stay in touch with clients that join your website maintenance plans. Otherwise, they'll forget about the value you're providing. So we do this by reaching out regularly. We semi-automate a monthly report that we send to clients. We communicate clearly, so no web dev geeky jargon that we all love. We need to make it really easy for clients to understand so they can see the value. We show actual data and results. So this is like scan results, the plugins we've updated, things like that. I will show you in a second. And also, we try to exceed expectations. So as much as possible in our monthly email that we send to clients, we like to provide, a small tip or insight or some kind of recommendation that will help improve their website. And this could be something as small as like, oh, we've noticed like this new form that you've added or something like that doesn't have a recapture on it. Like, would you like us to add that kind of thing? And so it can be something that's small that's also it's valuable to them, but it's something that you can obviously invoice for as well. So it can lead to more projects. So this is an example of the report that we send to clients once a month. It includes a custom cover page. It shows all the plugin and theme updates. It has the performance and the security scan results. We also have basic analytics if we connect their Google Analytics to it. And optionally, if it's included in their plan, they might also get uptime monitoring results. And if they're an e-commerce website, they'll have that data there as well. And Freebie Alert will give you this example report at the end too. We have been talking about WordPress maintenance already with our clients, but when it comes to the actual selling and getting them to sign up, we also have a sales page that does a lot of the heavy lifting for us and really highlights all those benefits and things again. So our sales page includes sections on what they get, why they need it. It has the pricing tables. It has social proof, so that's testimonials from happy clients. And we also have a form. So on the page, they can sign up right away. We have a get started form that collects all the info that we need to get them set up. And it also creates a subscription for them on a recurring payment. So this is another thing that I did the wrong way for many years, where I had an automated invoice that was going to clients on the monthly. And then you end up having to chase them up because they don't pay, or you forget about it and you've been doing it for 6 months for free, and then you've got to try to get them to pay for 6 months, and it gets a bit tricky. So having something that hooks up to get someone a subscription, I just use Stripe. I connected to Stripe. Haley uses something else now, but whatever of form plugin you use or whatever, you can usually hook up with most of all the popular guys to set up a subscription. And so we have this template and the form templates for you as well. These are usually something we don't give away for free, but Haley wanted to be really generous and give them all away for free. So we'll show you that at the end. So if you're a page builder lover like us, we have the sales page in Divi and Elementor, and the form files come in Gravity Forms and Fluent Forms as well. That's you.
Righto. Now, we have the secret weapon. So how do you actually do the website maintenance? I'm not going to show you how to do it. I'd say most of us in the room can work it out. We're pretty technically advanced. But the secret weapon we use, if you haven't recognized it already, is Manage WP. There are multiple alternatives out there. You've got Main WP, WP Remote, Jetpack, Infinite WP, and WP MU Dev. So you guys might already be implementing some of this and using some of these, but feel free to take a photo. So that's the easy part, the doing it. The selling, it's the hard part. And then we've got the delivery. So how do you send that to your client and share that with them? So how do we deliver website maintenance? I have a very basic email template that I send out each month with the report. So I make sure it's personalised, and it states what has been done, any issues that may have popped up, how the website is performing, anything else important of note. So another bonus alert, Em's about to tell you how you can steal that, and you're off.
I keep thinking I've turned my mic off, but I haven't. So anyone keen to start packaging and selling website maintenance who hasn't before? Oh, good. There's a few hands. Awesome. So here are some of the bonuses. So they'll all be at the same URL, so you don't have to scribble down a different one. So first up, we have our website maintenance checklist. So this is all the things that we do on the monthly for our clients. We have the 3 email templates we mentioned. So the renewal email template, the one that you can upsell past clients on, and also the maintenance delivery email template. We have the example website maintenance report that we've generated in Manage WP. The sales page template that comes in both Divi and Elementor, just JSON files that you can upload. And last but not least, we have the form files. So for the getting started form, you can get the Gravity Forms or Fluent Forms import files. Is anyone still taking pictures, or I can change to the next slide?
And just a heads up, we don't need your email. There's a link there. You can just grab it.
Yeah. You don't have to opt in or anything. Although there is, if you want to sign up to the newsletter, you can do that, but you don't have to. And that's it. So let's be friends. We're on Facebook and Instagram at WP Mavens, or you can check us out at wpmavens.co. Thank you.
Great. I'll definitely be looking at those resources and sharing them with my wife, who's a web designer too. Yeah, that was great. Do we have any questions? We've got a couple.
So you sell in 24/7 security event management. So what happens at 3 a.m. website? Do you get the...
Good question. And it is something we broach with clients, and I think the level of clients that you're serving will kind of dictate what you can offer. So for myself, my clients, if their website goes down for an hour or two, it's probably not going to put them out of business. If something comes through on the weekend, I jump on and I do it. That's part of the service. However, if I'm asleep, it's not something I can do. The higher level, we heard from Miles this morning, he's working with enterprise clients. I would be expecting a 24/7 kind of, or an in-house team that would be managing that. You just have to do that on a case-by-case basis based on the clients that you're serving. Yeah.
Perfect. Hi. Great presentation. We loved it. Great ideas as well. I have two questions. The first one is the link that you have with all the resources that you're giving us as freebies. How long is it going to be live for? And the second thing is with the management that you're offering, hosting was part of it by default. Do you deal with management for people that are not hosting with you?
Do you want to answer it or do you want me to?
Firstly, the link will just keep up indefinitely. It'll be there for a long time. If for some reason it's not there, just email us. We'll send you the stuff. It's all good. And secondly, we don't have website hosting included by default in our plans. It's an optional sort of thing people can add. A lot of people like bundle it together, and I think that can be a good idea in that, you know, they absolutely need website hosting, otherwise they don't have a website, right? So it can be a good thing to bundle together. But yeah, we both charge for it separately. Hayley can answer why.
So the reason I personally have that separately is because when you bundle them together, your clients start to confuse website maintenance with hosting. They are two different services, and it's really part of that communication and education of explaining that they are different and why they're different and what each of those services does. So that's one reason I personally keep them separate. Bundling them together is great for, you know, them thinking they've just got one thing they've got to do. But I think it's really important to have some some separation there, and just so, because otherwise they're like, why am I paying $600 a year? Or why am I paying this amount of money for my website hosting? They forget what they're actually getting.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you. I knew it would be. So I've got two questions. One is around other like closed platforms. So, you know, whether it be Shopify, whether it be, you know, Squarespace, something like that. I still struggle. Like I look at those and they're like $35 a month and they do they seem like they do all that. Have you had that as a question from other clients? And how have you got over that? The second one is I tend to, whether they're on a $50 a month or they're on $100 a month, I still tend to do a lot of extra stuff for them at no charge. And how do you say no to that and charge them?
Boundaries.
Thank you.
Come find me. We'll have a chat. So in regards to the other platforms, we work with a lot of web designers that work across quite a few. Emma and I only work with WordPress. My niche is people who have courses and memberships. So for me, it's a no-brainer to use WordPress. It's scalable. They can launch a product or a service really quickly, get proof of concept, and then we can spend the money and build it out. So that's something that I really love about WordPress. Did you have anything to add to that? The downside is you've got to manage it, but it's everything that was spoken about this morning. If you're in room 1, if you didn't catch that, make sure you rewatch it when everything's posted, because Miles' talk about the WordPress, it was as the scalability and all of that was amazing, and I loved the way he presented that. Having the members that work with multiple CMSs, they kind of work with their clients and find a solution that's right for them. There's nothing wrong with using Squarespace or Shopify. They are great tools, but I think it comes down to what the client needs and what their budgets and all of that works for at that time.
I wanted to know if you can maybe share a story that we can learn from, like maybe something that you would have done differently, perhaps like an emergency that came up and that you had to put that fire off as part of the maintenance. And second question, do you use staging? Because that's what happened to me recently, that I worked on a client's website and I should have staged the changes before. And that was kind of my learning, that I should have done that. And I wonder if you do that, for example. Thank you.
Yeah, good question. So most of the websites that I work on, again, they're quite small business websites. So sometimes I'm not doing all the updates on a staging. If I had really big clients, like some of those clients that Miles was talking about this morning, or some of Hayley's clients, yeah, you kind of need to do everything on a staging first to make sure everything's fine. But yeah, like it's always better. Backup. Oh yeah, always backup, absolutely. So what I tend to do is, if it's like a new website that maybe I'm taking over, or you look at it and it's got like 25 updates, or like heaps of all this like stuff, and you're a bit scared like something's going to break, hasn't been updated in years, then absolutely, like a staging and all of that, do that first, make sure everything's working fine beforehand. For the ones that we're doing on the monthly, so it literally got updated last month, I built the website, I know it's a solid site, then there's a safe update feature in Managed WP. A lot of the other platforms would have something similar as well. And what that does is it backs up the site before you do it. It takes a screenshot of the site beforehand. It's not 100% accurate, I find, the screenshot, but it's helpful. Then it updates everything that's available to be updated, takes another screenshot, and then you can go check everything out once it's done. And if there's anything that's happened that's wrong, you just click like restore website, and it restores it to that backup that it's just taken. And that gets you out of a lot of pickles. One mistake that I have made though is not checking. So with Managed WP and probably these other tools as well, you might have a similar thing where, depending on the hosting and the settings on the hosting, it might like time out, and so the restore just won't work. Or it maybe hasn't connected properly, and then you're like scrambling to get the website back up. And so now whenever I set up a new website on Managed WP, I make sure that I can restore a backup right away. Like I take a backup and make sure that it all works fine and it's all connected, because you don't want to figure that out when you've just done an update and it's broken their website. So I try to make sure that that's all working fine first, and yeah, so that's hot tip.
Cheers for the talk. I was wondering, do you guys like package in maintenance hours as well in the retainer?
Sorry, I missed that.
Do you package in like maintenance hours in the retainer? So like if a client wants updates or change this picture or change this, do you do that as well? And how do you keep track of that?
Separate line items. So maintenance is its own service. If I have a retainer with the client, that's separate as well. So I've moved away from retainers and I do time blocks with a lot of my clients post-COVID. But as long as it's a separate line item so that they don't confuse them, because website edits and ad hoc tasks, that can quickly grow in scope. And then when you try and invoice them, they're like, but I'm already paying for it. So yeah, being very clear in the scope of works. Oh, and multiple sources of backup. So yes, whilst we both favour Managed WP, having another source where you can do a separate backup and have that automated as well is really important, just in case your tool of preference doesn't work that day.
Hey, thanks for the presentation. Was curious about the scheduling you do for maintenance. I know you mentioned you have a bit of different price points depending on the time investment that goes into that. Do you find it's mostly around, you do like once a month sort of thing for the average person, or like weekly, daily? Is that something you differentiate with a lot?
Yeah, so 99% of my clients, all the daily stuff's automated. So I have performance scanning, performance security, uptime monitoring, and daily backups. If the performance drops below a certain grade, I get a notification, so I can go and address that quite quickly. Outside of that, once a month, each client gets the updates and then the reports. So the majority of the work is automated. Mostly a website maintenance would take me no more than an hour. If it ever takes me longer, it's very, very rare. And then most of my clients are on a monthly plan. I've got one on a quarterly for budget reasons. So, but I actually charge them the equivalent of 2 months for a quarter because it's more likely something can go wrong.
I might just quickly add with that too, the kind of only manual things that we tend to do is obviously we automate the performance scanning, security scanning, that kind of thing. We don't automate the updates because you want to be checking right away in case something goes wrong. So we're doing that with the safe update feature, which, it's kind of automating it in a way because you just click a button and it's sort of doing it for you, but you want to check that right away. And then testing. So I send like a test, like any forms on the website, we'll just fill it out, send a test, make sure everyone's getting what they need to be getting. The emails are getting sent, send a test email to the email address that's listed on the website, because I've had a few clients that they'll have their, admin at or hello at email address and it's just not working. So sending that every month. If they have an e-commerce site, then doing a test purchase. We just set up like a 99% off coupon code and do a test purchase, make sure all that's working. But that's kind of the only real manual stuff you're sort of doing, except for then, quickly drafting the email and putting some kind of insight or tip or something that you might need to add.
Hi. We were just having a conversation at the very beginning, which I think is poignant to maybe support your statement about separating out this maintenance, updates to the website versus the rest of the package. So just to share an experience that might help others that I went through, I now look after 140 websites. Now, if you look at compounding the maintenance hours that you might actually include within those, 1 hour, 10 hours, that gets pretty hard to manage as you scale. So I separate that out because I was having a scaling issue and I deal with that separately, similar to time blocks or retainers if it needs to be. But I just thought I'd mention that for others to understand.
Yeah, awesome.
Cool. Hey guys, beautiful slides. I think you won the slide deck competition so far. It looks beautiful. Thank you. I'm going to, similar to the previous question, a little bit, ask you to be a little bit vulnerable. Is there anything across from like client sales, finance, automating payments, to reporting, to doing things on the site like filling out contact forms? What's the biggest pain point that you really kind of just get frustrated with, or a hard nut you haven't cracked with servicing clients with website maintenance?
The biggest pain point, which I think was probably one of the things we addressed in the longest form here, was the selling and that feeling gross. Majority of us choose this industry because we are introverts. We like to hide behind a screen. We probably hate meetings. We really don't want to do face-to-face. So that sales just doesn't come naturally. So that was addressing that really, really helps. And then I'm the biggest advocate for boundaries. So if anyone has struggles with boundaries or you're a people pleaser, let's chat. So yeah, just making sure you're communicating the expectations from the client, you're communicating what they can expect from you, staying in touch with them. It really will fill a lot of those things and make it easier, especially when you're scaling to like 140 maintenance clients each month. So I hope you're not doing them all on your own. Yeah. So, yeah.
Great. Anything final?
No.
That was great. Thanks. And thanks for your questions. I think that was great. Give them a hand.